This movie is not intended for children. It must be a very worrying time for teachers, parents and students around the world. Teaching is not just a job. Teaching is a passion. For me, education has always been the answer to most of the world's ills. The idea of children unable to attend school is almost unthinkable. However, parents do not despair. You can do this. I know I had to be a bit sneaky about education sometimes. Much like we parents often sneak vegetables into children's food. I once went through a stage of making icy poles out of fresh carrot juice. We can slip their education by them, in the same way. Personally, I would not have been able to get my son to devote hours every day to schoolwork, while he was at home, without getting a bit crafty about it. My mother once told me, buying for my children could be challenging, as I tended to want everything to be educational in some way. She was right. I just hadn't thought about it until she had said it. Yes, sorry, my bad. I am a very sneaky educator. We made zoos. We made signs for our zoos. We printed off books about the animals. We colored them in. We read our own books. We made movies. We took pictures of bugs. It just happened my son's passion was all creatures great and small. We used Zoo Tycoon. Absolutely love Zoo Tycoon. Even if my son did find a way to let the animals rampage among the visitors, sending them screaming through the zoo. The possibilities are endless these days, with easy access to the internet and computers. When we had first begun using computers, my son had not even been able to use a mouse. It had taken me a week of my getting him to click on Magic for him to get the idea. Does not seem possible now that he has ever experienced difficulties using a computer. Pulling him away from computers these days is like trying to pry a limpet off a rock. You might be wondering why I am not talking about my daughter here. Truth is, I never had to motivate her or get sneaky about her education. When she was heading off to school, she quizzed her brother about what she needed to know and had sat there studying and practicing for weeks on end. I do not think he was entirely truthful with her. She was always considered cute, but even at barely 5 years old, that would irritate her. Although even I have to admit that the day she had fallen asleep at her desk, following a weekend away, she did look pretty cute. No matter what your child is interested in, you can use it. I was a bit naughty, but by the time my son was in grade 4, we were reading Bionicle books together, rather than the reading scheme. I should probably be putting teacher detention, but for us, it had worked. Perhaps use these types of books to supplement the reading scheme, rather than being wayward like me. I had bought every classic story I could think of from the second-hand shops. When my son was off for a week due to asthma, a regular occurrence, he had picked Call of the Wild off our shelves and had read it through in a little over a day. It was the first novel he ever read. We had then rented the film and watched that. Films are a great way to get children motivated. I once watched The Secret Garden with a class and was thrilled to discover that some of the children had actually visited the local library and taken out the book. For me, it had felt like somebody had just given me gold bullion. Bye for now. Happy homeschooling.